Okay, so in this video, I am reviewing the short story "The Lady with the Little Dog" by Chekov. I haven't finished the whole book. I've just finished that short story, but I'm doing it one at a time because I don't want to forget the details. So basically, the story follows this middle-aged guy called Garov, who he's kind of a misogynist. He believes like women are just horror. He's really like red pilled. Kind of just he's married. He's middle aged. He's married. He has kids. He goes out. He goes on vacation one day to Yalta, and he's like, ah man, I don't. Originally he's like, I don't like women. And then he goes there and he meets this young woman, Anna Sergeyevna. He keeps seeing her around. He'll go to the star shops, he'll sit down on a bench and he'll see her everywhere, walking her little dog. And he's just thinking like, man, like she's kind of catching my eye, even though I don't know, he's like a big misogynist. And one day he approaches her and they start talking, and it turns out they really like one another. Anna's in this sort of loveless marriage, just as Gurov is, where she doesn't really like her husband, and they're talking and they have this like sort of it's a sexless, it's a love affair, it's an emotional kind of thing. And they talk to one another, they keep seeing each other while they're in Yalta. And then one day um Anna gets called back to go to her husband. Like, Gurov's this big misogynist, and then Anna is constantly saying that she's afraid that Gurov will lose respect for her if she cheats on her husband, even though she hates her husband and she hates her life. She is in a horrible, boring life, but she's always afraid that if she pursues, her own love or anything, that he'll lose respect for her. Even though I don't even know why she would want this guy's respect because they just sort of met. They're in this lock where they kind of being together is kind of wrong, but also going back to their regular lives also kind of wrong. And they tell each other, they're like, oh, I'm gonna put you out of my head. They will agree to like not think about one another. But when when Gurov returns back to his old, boring, terrible life, his poor, terrible married life as a middle-aged man, he he keeps thinking about her. He can't put her out of his head. He walks by, like he'll walk by her house and he'll just sort of sit outside and he'll think, oh, what you doing in there? You look at the high walls of this big mansion that she lives, and it consumes him. And it consumes him so much that one day he goes off and he says, right, I'm going from Moscow where he lives. He says I'm going to St. Petersburg because he knows that he resolves that she will probably be going to this play, this like Oriental kind of thing. It's called the Geisha. So he goes into this theater and then he sees her and he's so excited. Even though he's like trying to say, he's like, oh, I don't really feel anything for her. I don't really love her. I've been trying to put her out of my head. He sees her, and that one goes out the window. And he's like, oh my goodness, like I miss her, like, oh my gosh. And then when intermission comes, he basically bolts it down to her, and he goes, he's like, hello, and she's like, whoa, what do you do? Like, I can't see you right now. This is wrong. We should not be seeing one another. Like, this is messed up. And he's like, oh man, like just I had to see you. And so she's like, okay, let's go to the stairs or something. We can't be seen here. Like my husband, what if someone sees me? I'm a respectable member of society. And so, they go off and he's declaring, he's like, oh, I miss you so much. I love you so much. And she reveals, she's like, I also love you. I can't stop thinking about you. And so, they have this whole thing. They're like, we will meet, like, meet me in Moscow. And so, that happens. And then they start having liaisons in Moscow. Anna starts making all these excuses. She's like, "Oh, I need to head off on a friends trip. I need to go meet my friends." And then Gurov is coming up with these excuses with his wife for his wife too. But they're also stuck in this thing where it's like, how do we make this work? This is horrible. Like, we've finally fallen in love, but our lives are just not like it just can't happen. When our lives are built on on secrecy and stuff like that. Like it's a affair, and the story basically ends with deadlock. they realize, this is a really horrible situation, but they are deeply in love, and it's just, and that's how it ends, and it's that's the story, and it's just, I guess it represents sort of like the sort of hopelessness in, I don't know, in love and in cheating and stuff like that, and it's just, it really just depicts sort of the truth of it, um, of just sort of these two people who are, so unhappy in life, but they also sort of, they're so happy to be with one another, but the situations of life make them feel unhappy too. So yeah,